Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising. That look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you're never leaving my face. Heart is racing here now. Never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess. No, you're a mind reader. Mind reader. Something about you is different. Some kind of energy's messing with all the chemicals in my brain. Feel the temperature rising. That look in your eyes paralyzing. Forever you'll never leave in my veins. Heart is racing here now. Never wanna wait out. I want you right up to the end. Oh, you know what I'm feeling, even if it doesn't make sense. You don't have to guess. No, you're a mind reader. Mind reader.
What's up, everybody? Back with another video. Sorry I didn't stream at 9:30, but I was actually streaming with Fake Mike, Real News. You know, we had actually a good, I think we talked for probably 2 hours. We had a good build, talking about a lot of things. My voice is actually kind of hoarse. But, yeah, how long were we on the phone? 15. Damn, almost 2 hours. That was my live stream. So, hope everybody's doing well and swell. And shout out to everybody. On this Friday, hope everybody's doing good and remaining healthy, and you know, everything under the sun as we go through this, you know, twisted society. Well, that's cool. Now it shows the title at the top. I can see it. It's just sometimes, most of the time when I put the title in, I forget what the title was. But society is sick, and it's sick in many ways. Okay, but somebody give me a thumbs up if y'all can hear me, because I'm not sure if y'all can hear me or not. So if somebody can give me a thumbs up, a hoorah, a hi yay, a middle finger, I don't care. What's good, Glenn? All right, there's one. Shout out to Glenn. Good to see new faces, and you know, appreciate it. yeah, but so much stuff going on. I mean, you can just pick your topic. A lot of stuff is going on in like our own communities. There's a lot of stuff going on, man. And oh shit, Mad Pyman, what's good, man? Well, man, I was looking for you 2 live streams ago. I put an APB out. I was like, man, I haven't seen Mad Pyman in a while. So shout out to you, Mad Pyman. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Definitely good to see you. How's everything going? You're in Melbourne, right? How's everything doing down there in Australia? I think it's Melbourne or yeah, it's Melbourne. I'm pretty sure it's Melbourne. It's Melbourne, right? I don't know, it's probably delayed, but it's good to see you. I would like to know how it is. Oh yeah, Melbourne, okay. Oh, that's nice. How's things going down there though? You know, for the most part. From the land down under. So shout out to Mad Pyman. Good to see you here. Good to see you here. But yeah, man, it's just yeah, my local area. There's a lot of stuff going on with parents getting letters from superintendents and barring them from all public school buildings. Like, it's unbelievable. You know, concerned parents about their kids are being, you know, these threatening letters. Life's getting harder for everyone. Government, we don't understand, man. But you know, they're getting these threatening letters, and they don't want, you know, they're barring parents from board meetings, stuff like that, and it's pretty tyrannical stuff, man. And then they're also hiding sexual assaults. Okay, this has happened in a school in Penfield and near Rochester, and also is going on in Buffalo. Pretty wild stuff, but this is New York State. But I've been working on some solutions, and you know, I was talking to Fake Mike about it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on this channel. You know, I might create another channel or something like that. I don't know if I'm gonna do it on this channel, because it's like, I mean, you know, it's more for like people who are into, you know, this kind of things. But who knows? I don't know. But basically, I am helping people change the scope of how the public hearings go in the town of Penfield. Trump predicted the new poop. Yeah, I know, right? They told us slickly. It's a crazy world. But you know, helping people in my area with some powerful shit. I mean, it's extremely powerful. It's like unbelievably powerful. And then helping the parents that got these letters, you know, to get that shit removed fast. And so fast that they'll be sending them apologies. So that's what I've been working on. I have one woman that's supposed to file it on Monday. Boy, oh boy, it's gonna cause some. It's gonna cause some. I'll share that. It's gonna cause some damage. All right, but it's for the people. And I've been telling people this for years. John Felix, he's got a big auditing channel. He was actually in Florida at Ochaweechee. I wish I was in Florida at the time because I would have went. I gotta message John Flax and let him know. I mean, a little arrogant. He's a little arrogant, but we're cool because he actually took the time to interview one of my brothers, one of the pioneers of the Cop Watch movement. His father was the pioneer of the Cop Watch movement, late great Mario Vera, all right? And his son is Davey V TV, which, is a brother of mine. And John Felix, actually did an interview with him. Pretty dope. But anyways, John Felix, they were at him and Warren Sapp, the former NFL football player. They went to, and some other auditors, they went to a public hearing. It had something to do with trespassing or whatever. They're trying to pass trespassing ordinance or something, which is wild as hell. And, they're all saying that it's unconstitutional. It's unconstitutional. They're saying everything right, 100%. Okay? But they're going into these hearings, okay? And when they're going into these hearings, they're going into the hearings with their voices, okay? And unfortunately, we've been trained to use our voices and let our voices be heard, right? But you have to understand the law. The law doesn't deal with flesh and blood humans. The law deals with corporations, okay? The law deals with legal fiction, corporate legal fictions, right? They don't deal with flesh and blood humans. So when a flesh and blood human goes in there and screams his flesh and blood lungs, all right, and vibrate his vocals, falling on deaf ears. Nobody's gonna hear it. Okay, so, and then some of them didn't even get a chance to speak. They also stopped public comment. Okay, now, I mean, this is just it's wild, but I sent them an email, let them know, like, look, I mean, I saw your notes, good notes, but guess what? You didn't get to read them, did you? You didn't get to read the notes. Why? Because you don't understand what a public hearing is. And I try to tell people, but nobody want to listen to me when it's right in front of your face, like hidden in plain sight. And, he's like, we the people. And, they're going there. The officers are there kicking them out, threatening arrest for this and that, da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, guys, unfortunately, they don't follow the Constitution. That's an administrative body, okay, of government. All right? It's a local government at that, all right? Which should be even more alarming that this is even allowed. But, again, you got a right to redress your grievance, all right? People need to go look up that. I broke that down in the video. Doesn't mean going, yelling, screaming, protesting, and, acting like a big crybaby or none of that stuff. No. Okay? It's your ass filing paperwork, affidavits, injunctions, okay, motions, okay? That's what it takes. All right? Now, that video, demonstrates exactly what I talk about. Total ignoring, didn't let them talk, dictated the entire thing, said they had time limits, then they chilled, right? They chilled public comment, which they can't do. But guess what, guys? There's not one person there to challenge. And guess what else was there? The town attorney. How does the government that's by the people, for the people, and we the people, and represents the people, and we voted for these people, how do they have an attorney? You know? And this is what people don't understand at these public hearings. What is a hearing? Okay? I mean, all this is simple stuff, guys. So, you know, hold on one second. No. Now, a public hearing is a specific, legally required meeting, okay? Now, what it actually is, hold on. One second. One second, guys. Sorry about that, guys. But anyways, trying to pull up something real quick. One second. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. By the way. Okay, I think I might have got it now. Okay. Okay, thanks, Matt Hyman. Yeah, sorry about that. Now, public hearings, right? It says it right in there. And this is what I try to tell people. Stop going in there, bowing down, getting your little 2 to 3 minutes, sometimes 5, and them not listening to you and totally disregarding everything you say. Okay? They're doing that out of your ignorance. Okay? Because after every town board meeting, city council meeting, whatever it is, okay, they call them meetings, but they're actually public hearings, which are lawful proceedings. That means it's actually a court hearing, in a sense. It's like you're going to, not technically like a court of law, like a court, but like an administrative hearing. That's what this is, because all these are administrators. This isn't government, okay? These are administrations that administer policy, code, rules, regulations, okay? They don't administer law. That's why they ignore anything to do with the Constitution, okay? They even call themselves administrators, right? Administrations, right? That's what they are. And people don't nor understand this. Therefore, you have a lot of angry Americans, U.S. citizens, that go to let their voice go. They're always encouraged to, They always say the government, these administrative fucking masquerading ass, fake ass governments say, well, if you don't like it, you can always come down and let your voice be heard. They never tell you, well, if you don't like it, you can enforce the law by sending us a fucking affidavit, okay, and making us act accordingly under the law to you, the people which we represent. No, nobody goes in there like that. They just go in there and say, I'm tired. This is not right. This is a violation of our... Oh, yeah, it is. But because you can't speak in a hearing, right? You cannot speak at a hearing, public hearing, right? It's a public hearing. You can't speak in there. What speaks? Paperwork. Why? Because they turned everything into an administrative proceeding. Now, if it was a constitutional public hearing, then you have free speech. But you don't have free speech in an administrative ran fake governmental hearing. You don't have it. That's why they place restrictions on you. Okay? So, the only way to get around that is you got to treat it like a hearing. Okay? And this is what I've been hipping people to. All right? Since I stopped fucking truth and wasting my fucking life away, for nothing. Even though I did always kind of do this kind of stuff, right? But I just do it more now, and helping people out. Which is real truthing, right? On the ground, creating changes, so because they create official records in there, right? And they use statutory laws, they do policies, they do all this stuff in these anytime they want to pass some shit, an ordinance, a bill, a law, anything in your local town, village, city, whatever the hell it is. They have public hearings. They have city council meetings on A, B, C, D, and E. All right? And if there's no objections, it gets put into code, right? And this is just the beginning. Wait till we start digging into these codes, right? Challenging code, right? With the law. Oh. Ooh, ouch. Nobody ever thinks of doing shit like this, right? See? They want you to cry. That's the reason why there's a bar, right? There's a bar with attorneys. And everywhere there's an attorney. Just like in all these meetings, there's an attorney. Okay? And that's why they created the bar. The bar is not a British accredited registry. That is just ignorant fucking trash that you hear on the internet. Okay? That's all that is. That's garbage. The bar is the barrier. Okay? If you get barred, right, there is legal precedent for being barred, okay? Let's go look up the legal definition of bar, right? Doesn't mean British accredited registry. That's that stupid guru internet nonsense garbage like you hear on like Yusuf L's shithole page of just total bunch of fucking extremely non-intelligent people on there. I've been going at it back and forth with some of the most dumbest minds in society on there today alone, debunking all the just stupid idiocracy that these people and many other people that you had thought were awake adopted this Trump hysteria. It's just unbelievable. It's crazy, man. It's like liberal all over again. It's truly mind-blowing. How they drink the Kool-Aid. Seriously. I know what Donald Trump is, but yeah, he's a funny guy. I get it. I actually like his personality. I enjoy his personality. If I was involved in politics, I would like a guy like Donald Trump. But once you know. You can't unknow. Like, once you're awake to this shit, you don't go back to sleep. And a lot of them have. That's why they were never awake. And these people turn into like these weird movies that they create over the years that turn into these possessed monsters that point you out now, singling you out. Now, you know, and me and Fake Mike was talking about this. Now we got the left and right hand pointing at us. All right. And that's a lot of y'all too that know what's up, that don't adopt a left or a right paradigm, right? Because they both do the same exact thing. Okay. So that lets you know their program is running the exact same way. Because now, 2025, May 11th, 2025, which is about to be May 12th in 8 minutes. I might be a day off. I'm not sure. Last time I thought it was May 11th. But anyways, and right now, if you talk about the left, oh, you're a far right conspiracy theorist, Trump nut, Nazi, whatever. If you talk about conservatives' views or Trump views, you're automatic a leftist. There isn't even fuck you no more. There isn't even, oh, you know, you're stupid fuck. No, it's immediately Democrat. I've made comments in groups and shit. I'll get a one word comment, Democrat. Like what? Like this society is sickening, guys. It is sick. It is sick and twisted. Like it's sick at this point. I mean, even liberals had more to say than, these fucking conservatives and Trump supporters drop memes. They don't even fucking comment. At least liberals had the time to articulate, fuck you, I hope you die and get killed in a wildfire and shot with an AR-15 from your son's cousin's mother or some stupid shit. They would do shit like that. These motherfuckers just say, Democrat, drop a meme, you know? I mean, it's truly fucking, it's sick. It's actually twisted and sick, man. It really is, guys. So anyways, you know, I went off into a little spasm tangent right there. But, you know, back to this whole public hearing, all right, and how ignorant we are, right? And, you know, understanding that we better stand on what we could stand on now before it's gone. It may already be too late. You know, I do everything I do now, but at this point, we're probably over the hill, you know. The roller coaster, you know, we push it up the hill. We hope they would, you know, make it more safe, put a chain on it, reinforce the roller coaster. But, guys, we're already going down the roller coaster hill. All right. They don't have the track finished, so eventually the motherfucker gonna fly off the fucking track. All right, it just is what it is. Come on, Space Troll, don't spam the comments, man. You know, because let me see if it's relevant, it'll make sense. But let me see. If I talk about culture and other foods, now I am a liberal and I travel all over the world. It makes this earth vibrant and worth living our differences. Or else it would be Space Troll. Like I said, I already knew the shit was gonna be off left field somewhere. We're all watching the baseball game, you know, ball flies over in left field, you know. We're all watching baseball, but you're fucking watching cricket somewhere. I don't even know. But it's all good, Space Troll. It's all good. I'm just playing. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, the public hearings, right? They're actually administrative hearings. So instead of people going in here and voicing nothing, doesn't matter what you say, you could be like, you know, I got the mayor on tape with 4 other women playing with 6 boys. They don't give a fuck. You can say it all you want. Doesn't matter. They'll shrug it off. They don't care. You could have one of the board members caught red-handed, and I've seen auditing Erie County with it. They don't give a fuck because they know it's not on paper anywhere. They know they're not being challenged. They already know this. You can't be held accountable if nobody's bringing accountability. Okay? It's literally that simple. You know, watching that shit with John Felix, you know, yesterday it was pissed me off to see the cops with their nonchalant ass attitude. You know, the board members just totally fucking they don't give a fuck because they know their position. And they got an attorney sitting right there. And at the end of the session, they, you know, oh, anyone favor, you know, disfavor this, da da da. All right, boom. If these motherfuckers, they all got gavels. You come to a podium, okay, like you're in fucking court. They're up, right? They're officials. There's an attorney there. That lets you know it's a fucking hearing, man. What are y'all doing? There's no paper, nothing. They do whatever they do. Boom. Good night. They file the necessary. Oh, there's no challenges on this proposal, this bill, this site plan, this over here. Da da da. We got it. Meanwhile, like where I'm from, they had a battle with Whole Foods and Wegmans for fucking years, and those public meetings had to keep coming because why? I can go tomorrow and create a public hearing on something that I got concerns about, and they got to address it and hold the fucking hearing. They got to set a date and they got to hold the hearing. Well, our average U.S. citizen doesn't fucking know this. They don't understand this, okay? And I was peeping this when I was watching Wegmans and fucking Whole Foods battling over in a town called Pittsburgh because Wegmans got it on lock. They didn't want a Whole Foods near them. So they did everything under the sun. And I'm like, why isn't it like a court battle? It's like, it led to a court battle, but it also was public hearings because the public hearings was the voice of the people that were both being propagated by each one of them, okay, and shown different plans. They were like playing. It was unfucking believable, guys. But I was looking at that and said, what the fuck is going on here? Well, Wegmans or Whole Foods was demanding the hearing with public input. So you had one propagating one side. They literally created a left and right in that little segment alone in this local area. You had the liberals, they love fucking Whole Foods. They can't afford shit in there, but they damn sure love it. And the rich liberals, they love Whole fucking Foods. Okay? So they would cater to them. There was protests, all kind of shit. Shit was fucking wicked. I'm like, how the fuck are they doing this shit? You know? So they used those public hearings to get the people's voice so it could help and leverage in their little court battle. Okay? In the end, the one with the deeper pockets won. Okay? The one that persuaded the people more was Whole Foods. They brought a whole fucking plaza. Okay? Created a park and everything. You know? And dumped a whole lot of money to the town. So, of course, they won that battle. But anyways, I learned from that, and I looked at that, and I said, you know what? It's something to this. And that's when I started studying, researching, and I started finding out that everybody's doing this shit wrong. Everybody that's voicing their opinions, it's all wrong, you know? So what I did recently is I created my whole approach was, all right, fuck all that. We're gonna get rid of this 2 to 3 minute bullshit that they're talking. That shit, all this shit is unconstitutional. Everything they're doing is unconstitutional with these hearings. One, having police there and, you know, telling people they can't do this, that, and this, running it like a courtroom. Because if you go to any court, whether it's family court or criminal court or, you know, like misdemeanor court, there's officers there, of course, obviously, but it's a courtroom, okay? And they tell you, shut the fuck up, be quiet, Don't sit there. Don't stand there. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do this. But what the administrators aren't telling them, obviously those are the people's building, but all of a sudden, when they go in this room, their rights get shut off. No, they fucking don't, man. It's because people are accepting it because they don't understand the process. You can speak all the constitutional law you want. Oh, yeah, you can record out here, but in there, you can't. But in the public hearings, you can record, you can do this, you can voice your opinion, you can come up and talk, but under their stipulations. Okay, they say it's because of etiquette and professionalism and structure and order. No, fuck that. It don't work like that. Okay, because your voice ain't gonna get heard in 2 minutes. How are you gonna address some shit in 2 minutes? Okay, and then y'all don't respond to the shit because they ain't got to. It ain't on paper. You didn't call out anybody. Okay, all those people's names, all right, will be on your affidavit, okay? Whatever you're challenging, along with that attorney, okay? And that attorney will be put on notice that is the town's attorney, which is the people attorney. So him advocating and siding with the town is in direct violation of ethics of an attorney, especially for the town, under whatever state you're in Constitution and the United States Constitution. Okay? So think about it. Yeah, he does. He does. But what they don't do is they don't go in there with the right firepower. People can expose it all they want. I don't want to expose it. I want it changed. That's how you change it. They buck down. They fall like Jenga. Okay? They fall like Jenga. You gotta use what is here that's powerful that they use to get to that position. Okay? Now, them restricting your speech, that's a violation of due process and a violation of the Constitution. Okay? That's a violation of the First Amendment and the 14th Amendment. Right? 1, limiting your speech. All right? Not failure to answer your issues. That's another violation. Failure of public scrutiny. That's another violation. They try to say, oh, you can't say this and you can't accuse that. No. You can. But you can't in an administrative proceeding. Where's the fucking evidence? It's not in front of them, so you're speaking hogwash. Even if you have it in front of them, you carry it with you. It don't apply because it wasn't filed and submitted to the public hearing. That's what they don't tell you. So what I did is I drafted up a fucking gem to give to people. You could use it any place. Okay? And I had, it was Ohio. It was hold on, let me find the town. Okay, this lady was in, was it Ohio? Let's see, where was that? It was in what is this? Westerville, Ohio. Okay, I drafted up one for somebody for this lady that having trouble with the fucking, the whole process, right? In Ohio. Now, what it is, they're restricting all kinds of shit, right? They're doing all kinds of shit. So I just, it could be an easy, file for them to speak there, right? No, we don't want to do that. You want to change the whole dynamic of the public hearing process. Now, what I did is let me get it, hold on 1 second. What I did is a motion to compel, right? This is a motion to compel a public hearing. So this is, you're creating the public hearing. Damn, I'm already here. Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Hold on, guys. Okay, so what I did was a motion to compel. Now, this is to get an actual hearing. So basically, she goes, files this motion to compel a public hearing. She establishes a public hearing. They got to have it. There's no, they would have to fit into a calendar. But most of the time, there's never any fucking public hearings unless they create them for some shit. So there's always a huge docket in availability for a public hearing. Okay? There always is. You're never going to, be where they're like, oh, there's too many, no. And if they do say, well, they would have to show it never would happen. But just hypothetically saying, they say, well, we're full this month, no, whatever the fuck they're saying, it doesn't fly no more. Because now, when this document is strictly constitutional that I'm talking about, okay? This document that I created is strictly constitutional. There's nothing administrative about it. So that means any response they give has to be in the confines of the law, not what they say are scheduled. No. The law, you already established it. The minute they see this, they know, okay. So it just won't happen. They're going to set a date. Okay, the public hearing is going to be held on such and such day. They're going to post it. It's going to be about, it's a motion to compel public hearing in the interest of due process, First Amendment rights, and governmental accountability. That's what's going to be on the title, which wherever you're at is going to draw a lot of eyes, okay? When someone sees that, they're like, wait a minute, what the hell is this? We need to go here, right? What's it all about? And then, because in this motion to compel, they're going to have to post this information. See, that's what you don't understand. This is all public. This is for the people, by the people, about the people, with the people. So when they post this is out there for everyone to see. They're going to try to hide it, okay? But it's out there public for everybody to see. They'll probably just post, they'll regeneralize it and post it, and whoever files this will have to watch and say, no, you're redacting and hiding information, okay? You can't do that, because honestly, if I read this shit, no administrative government would want this shit in the public for too long, all right? As I said, this is a game changer. This is called checkmate, and you put people back in the saddle at the local levels. Easy, okay? It won't not work. It just don't work like that. Because I'm gonna give you the backdraft after I read this shit on why it won't. Why it will work. So, anyways, it's a motion to compel. Okay, it has, at the top I have submitted to. This is the city, whatever, Ohio, whatever. This goes to the town board, town supervisor, town attorney, and it says date. It says submitted by. It can be the residents. It could be multiple people, whoever, and then it'll be resident of whatever, whatever you live, and it has the contact information of everybody if you need to be contacted. But it then goes off, as I read before, motion to compel public hearing in the interest of due process, First Amendment rights, and governmental accountability. And it goes, now comes the undersigned, a resident and constituent of the town of wherever you're at, by the right granted under the First and 14th Amendments to the United States Constitution and the New York State Constitution, and hereby respectfully moves this honorable board to compel, this one was for New York State, but I did one for Ohio too, to compel the scheduling and notice of a formal public hearing on the following grounds. One, okay, this is what justifies this public hearings, and I'm laying the grounds because in a case you always need a grounds, okay? The undersigned respectfully demands that a public hearing be held to address and review current town of policies, whatever town, this one is Penfield, policies, practices, or informal limitations that impede, chill, or discourage the lawful expression of public comment, objection, or participation in public meetings, including school board sessions, council meetings, and other open forums, okay? Any regulation or practice which limits public speech, comment times, or content based on viewpoint or criticisms of government officials may constitute a violation of constitutionality protected rights, including, so basically it says any regulation or practice which limits public speech, comment times, or content based on viewpoint or criticism of government officials may constitute a violation of constitutionally protected rights, including First Amendment, which is the freedom of speech, right to petition government, 14th Amendment, due process and equal protection. Then you have Article 1, Section 8, and Section 9 of the New York State Constitution, which is free speech and redress of grievances. Now, what that just explained to them is, okay, you limiting people's speech, censoring what people say. If they are talking about government, who gives a fuck? Okay, as long as they're not being violent, okay, or just going irate, which they got a right to do. There's no restriction on that. As long as nobody is not getting out of hand. And this is what I tell people, look, when you move into these realms, you don't got to act ignorant anymore. You don't got to yell, scream. No, whatever your issue is, you stick on it. Leave the emotions and feelings out of it, because now you're standing on business. You are more powerful in a neutral law standpoint than you are ever screaming at the top of your lungs, even though it might be true as pie and as you could ever believe. Leave that shit outside and stand on this and watch them buckle. Okay, do it professional in a nice tone, and watch the shit just fall right in front of their face. So anyways, that's the first request, okay? Because, you know, these are the grounds for this public hearing, okay? Which entails changing the entire framework of your fucking public hearings and putting it back into the power of the people, okay? So, number 2, public hearings are valid legal proceedings. Now, this is the way I worded it because I'm making it simple for everybody to fucking understand, especially the public, okay? This motion further requests the town publicly acknowledge and affirm that public hearings are not ceremonial or discretionary. but are valid legal proceedings under New York State municipal law and constitutional law. Now, if you were in Ohio, it would be under the state of Ohio municipal law and constitutional law, or Florida, wherever the hell you at. Okay, it must be publicly known that public hearings establish a record of public objection and or support. All right. These public hearings may be used as evidence in future legal actions, which that's what other people don't understand. Okay, these are actual hearings going on. Okay, but that you go to them, and then after you voice, everybody forgets about the shit. And they're not supposed to go like it's a court of record, man. Anyways, serve as mechanism for direct democratic engagement. Carry the legal weight of community due process. All right. Now, number 3, request for posting in public buildings. Now, this is how you alert the public that the gig's up. You know, this is what is in this right here. Now, hope everybody's following along. You know, let me know if y'all following along still. This stuff is boring to truthers, but this is what real truthing is all about. You know, this is what real truthing is all about. This is what honestly, this is what Donald Trump talked about. You know, that, hey, this is what he talked about. Big government, you know, they're doing the same thing up in them levels. So why not do it in the local levels? I mean, it's the same thing. Thanks, Matt Pyman. So anyway, number 3, requests for posting in public buildings. The undersigned moves that the following notice be prominently posted in all town of Penfield public buildings, including the town hall, libraries, and administrative offices. Okay. Now, what I wanted to say is this. So basically, I'm letting them know that these things that we're talking about in this public hearing be made public and posted in all public buildings. So I wanted, you know, I said the notices, these notices be prominently posted in all town of Penfield public buildings, including town halls, libraries, and administrative offices, right? And what I wanted to say is all members of the public have the right to speak at designated public meetings and hearings, submit motions or affidavits to the town, and request redress under the First and 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution and the New York State Constitution. Public hearings are lawful, binding proceedings that form part of the government record. That's what I want. And I'm probably going to tweak that to make it a little bit longer and let, you know, I'm going to add, you know, after that, I'll probably add in, let it be known to you, the public, you have the right to redress your grievance without restraints, you know, and I'm going to have them create a code to put this in the code. And then this statement that's posted is going to be codified. Okay. I'm working on that, you know, but this is just for the hearing. All right. Because that part, the solution comes once the hearing is made. Now comes the other affidavit. Okay. Which backs up, it's a support to all the claims that are in this. Also with the solution that they have to now say, when at the end, instead of saying anyone has objections or all in favor, say and nobody says shit, but these motherfuckers up there, they've been doing this shit for years. Now they can't do that shit anymore. It's shut the fuck down. Why? Because they got to answer. Now they can't do that no more because there is objections. Now they really gotta act right. You see? They really got to act right. I mean, it gets a lot better. I'm going to explain it all when I'm done reading it. So anyways, number 4, role of town attorneys. It is also moved that it be acknowledged on record and in writing that town attorneys are not solely advocates for the town board, but are bound by the oaths and professional duty to uphold the Constitution and must respond promptly to submitted motions, affidavits, or legal objections by residents and the public. Number 5, additional clause on affidavits and rights to be heard. It is hereby included that all residents and all members of the public shall have the right to be heard without restraint and without arbitrary or preemptive time limitations, particularly while presenting concerns, questions, or arguments in affidavit form. This shut down anything where they try to say, oh, we need decorum, we have time limits, we have to do it in such. No, this shuts it right down because I put in there in affidavit form. Oh, they don't. This is detrimental to their entire fucking current bullshit ass process. Okay. Number 6, legal grounds. Now, this is the legal grounds for everything that's stated in the grounds. So the grounds are laid for the hearing and for the things that need to be addressed. Now comes the legal grounds, okay? This motion is brought under the following authorities. This is letting them know this ain't, you have authority. We don't in this instance. This removes their power right here. This is powerful shit, guys. This ain't no ABC 1, 2, 3. This shit is power fucking full, okay? This is extremely powerful shit. When you slap the law at the law, they ain't got no choice but to act right because then they're in violation. Look, we still got time for them motherfuckers not to violate the law. You know, there's going to be a point where this shit don't apply no more, okay? Where nothing applies. Just get out or lay down type shit. That's coming, but we ain't there yet. So you might as well use the shit while you can. Next, legal grounds. This motion is brought under the following authorities. U.S. Constitution, Amendment 1. Sorry. The way I got it written is, a certain way. I'll just read it out as I know it. U.S. Constitution, the 14th Amendment, and the First Amendment. New York State Constitution, Article 1, Section 8 and 9. New York State Municipal Home Rule Law. New York State Public Law, Section 103, Open Meetings Law. New York State Public Officers Law. Sorry, I already read that. Sorry. Also defined. Black's Law Dictionary hearing is defined as follows. Proceeding to determine facts of law or evidence, okay? You're letting them know, the people are letting them know, now we know what the hearings are, okay? Because a hearing is defined as a proceeding to determine facts, law, or evidence. That's it. What these administrations been doing all this time? They ain't been doing nothing to do with the law. They've been doing everything to the contrary. It is. It's fucking gold, man. It's gold. I'm gonna tell you why it's gold. I ain't even get there yet. I'm gonna tell you why it's gold. Okay. All right. Now we got. Okay, these are all the legal grounds. Okay, I'm still going. Article 78, CPLR, that's Civil Procedures Law Rules in New York State. Preserving the right to challenge government action or inaction in court. That's what the hearings are all about. All right? Now, you could be challenged action or inaction. That means like, if a Costco comes or you could challenge you want it, or you could challenge you not. So this isn't like, that's another thing I'm going to round it off to let people know. This isn't like a fuck you government. This is making it fair on both sides. Okay? And me and Fake Mike were talking about this earlier. Like, this is not a fuck you government and to be arrogant. No. No. This is just me expressing how powerful this is. But if I was going with anybody here, the first thing I would say, look. Before we go in, cut the shit. Cut the egos. Cut the stupid shit. Cut the ignorant shit, the name calling. Cut the stupid shit, okay? Because that's just flat out ignorant. You standing on business now. It's time to be professional, okay? Show you know how to hold them accountable. You don't got to do it with disrespect because, yeah, they'll disrespect you, but they don't do it. Say, hey, fucking fat fuck, you four-eyed geek. They don't do all that. So leave that shit alone and stand on business. Watch how powerful you become. All that ignorant shit, I'm not with that stupid ignorant shit no more. I let the law speak. It speaks for itself. You know how you pop your fucking collar and shut the fuck up. Just say yes, no, is it true, is it not? We're standing on this. You know, you pop your collar. Silence is the dead killer. Now you ain't got to say shit. It's quiet. You got good decorum. Police ain't worried about shit because they're in check now. What they worried about? You standing on business. You know? So anyways, CPLR, I already read that. That's preserving the right to challenge government action or inaction. So you could challenge them not acting on something that you want them to act on something. You could challenge on, okay, show us, prove to us under the laws of the Constitution and the state you're in that you're justified in not doing the action. When the law says you have to do the fucking action. Boom. All right. So now after that is case law, right? You got to put case law in there because you're speaking law, not administrative proceedings. So any response they give, they better be backing it up by facts of law, or it's irrelevant. Okay. Now, People v. Fiener, 300 New York 391. 1950 confirmed that protection of speech and assembly under the New York State Constitution as coextensive with federal rights. With federal rights. O'Neill versus City of New York, a slip AD, whatever the hell, First Department, 2004, reinforces that public officials must comply with constitutional procedural safeguards in making decisions that affect rights. All right. The way I do things is like I do in family court. I go to it ain't a knot, it's a triple knot with a lock on top of it and a padlock on top of that, inside of a safe, and the safe inside of a bigger safe, and then locked in a cement building. Like, I just keep going to where ain't no fucking way they wiggle out of any shit they say. It's just not going to happen because it's already there. You know, they speak the wrong way. They might violate the goddamn law. So anyways, Police Department versus Chicago versus Mosley, U.S., whatever, 1972, affirmed that the right of citizens to receive information and express dissent within public institutions, right? This motion, next one. Board of Education versus PICO, U.S. 853, 1982, affirmed the right of citizens to receive information and express dissent with public institutions. I already read that. Oh, okay. When I read the wrong line. Police Department versus Chicago, 1972, it says, government cannot restrict speech based on its content or viewpoint. That's already a case precedent under the Constitution. All right, hands down, that's it. Nothing to talk about. The Board of Education at PICO is the one that said, affirm the rights of citizens to receive information and express dissent within within public institution. And it states this motion is supported by a long-standing legal precedent and constitutional interpretation. It is settled law. Settled law is it's game over. Ain't nothing to talk about. It's settled law. It's not even debatable. There's no room for interpretation. It's already interpreted. It's settled. Settled law is powerful law. Okay? You're not moving it. That's why it's settled. Okay? It is settled law that the right to be heard in matters of public concern is a cornerstone of a free society. Okay? Game over. All right? Now, number 7, constitutional and case law support. Prayer for relief. Wherefore, the undersigned respectfully requests that all objections to this motion or issues raised by the public must be answered based on clearly cited facts of law, including but not limited to New York State case law, constitutional law, and binding precedent, which would be settled law, like I just stated, okay? Number 7, that it be affirmed that all government position exercised in public hearings derive their authority solely from the consent of the governed, as set forth in the Declaration of Independence and enshrined in both U.S. and New York State constitutions. Number 8, that any restrictions on liberty or public participation in governance, absent compelling justification and due process, is a violation of law, and that any arbitrary limitation on speech time or public inquiry is unconstitutional and shall not be tolerated. Okay, then next we got that formal public hearings be scheduled within 30 days. This is after all those. These are the relief that we're requesting. So after you lay the grounds, you lay down the you legal grounds. First are the grounds that you're basing this thing off of. Then the legal grounds come. Then the prayer for relief. Like, what relief are you looking for? Okay. Now, the relief that we're looking for is that a formal public hearing be scheduled within 30 days to address the above stated issues, which is all the issues I stated. Okay. Number 2, that proper public notice of said hearing be posted in accordance with New York open meetings law. What they do is they try to hide shit, post it on late, do all kind of dumb shit so people can't see it. No, I'm going to freshen this up. They need to actually promote this shit. Okay. They need to promote it, not just sit there and do this. And then whoever I give these to, wherever they're at, hey, look, send this to your local news sources. Tell them what's going on. It might be a big story, and they might want to be there. Okay, the people are challenging the framework of the government administration. That's big fucking news. Okay, a lot of people are sick of that 2-minute shit. Okay, this erases that shit. You can't fight this, and I'm going to tell you why when I'm done. Who's going to fight it? The people? What's it going to? This is crazy. Okay. Number 3, that notices regarding citizens' rights to speak and file motion be posted in all town buildings. Okay. Number 4, that town attorneys publicly affirm their duty to respond to citizen filings. Number 5, that the town recognize public hearings as binding legal forums that serve the constitutional principles of due process. Respectfully submitted. And I'm going to add some more things in there, but we're not even asking for much. Okay, we're just asking for a hearing, all right, and to address the framework of going forward in public hearings, okay, and that they be posted all the time, with open meetings law, and that notices about citizens' rights and all this other stuff that I'm talking about here is posted for everybody to read on the internet, newspaper, wherever they put information. It needs to be well known by the people. Okay. And then, the town attorney publicly affirm their duty. And that it be known. They're sitting there. It always needs to be known. Look, we could even, this is just getting us getting people into the public hearings, okay? This is all this is getting people into the public hearings. The supporting affidavit comes after this is in, and then you submit the supporting affidavit with all the questions, point for point, word for word, specifics, backed by law, okay? Don't say, I'm a child of God and the Creator, and Jesus said I'm free, and no, fuck that. What does the law say? Listen, we got an issue with said time. There's no restriction on said time, okay? And what I would do is I would say it only has, because you got to be fair. It's not fuck the government. No, all that stupid shit. No, you got to be fair. You can't have a motherfucker talking for 7 hours. No, it has to be an affidavit form for you to have the ability to speak. That is both ways. They want, because otherwise, they could justify putting a time limit on, which honestly, I would agree. It has to be some kind of time limit. But again, they cannot come back with an excuse saying, well, then these meetings will be extra long. No, motherfucker, that's why there's multiple meetings. So if this takes longer, then you got to schedule it back in another 30 days next month for the same topic, continuance, because this is a hearing. That's what they do. It's a hearing. This is going to be part 2. What's good, Fake Mike? So, yeah, they won't let you comment. But this nips all that in the bud, because everybody's name will be on there, and they all have a right to be heard. And guess what, guys? They all have to answer, okay? So what it is, it's on the paper, but publicly, your voice now, because you backed it up, it's now heard. So whatever you state is already on the paper, is already on an affidavit. Each person could have their own individual affidavit. This is easy work, okay? And you speak on your affidavit because you're now the witness that's standing in front and forth of that affidavit explaining your concerns, okay? Now, what you can do is request a public hearing to answer all public comments. That comes after. So whenever that first stage is done, okay, the clause is in there for them to respond publicly. It's not going to be, we're going to respond, no, publicly, because it's public and people can be there to witness. This changes the whole fucking game, guys. This literally changes the whole game. Now, why does this work? Well, I'm going to give you I gave this to the lady in Ohio. She was like, oh my God, this is so, and she looked over with her husband. They said it was like, she said, what are you? I said, I'm nobody. I said, I just give out information. I'm not a fucking attorney, I just give out information. I'm not any kind of attorney. I give out information. You check it, do as you may with it. I'm telling you what to do with it. Damn, this truck is going 80 fucking miles an hour. Jesus Christ. So, I gave it to Lake. She looked over with her husband, showed a couple of her friends, and that they were like, this looks like something. Where'd you get it from? I said, it's what I do. So, she was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna, but she was nervous about doing it. I'm like, what is there nervous about? You're going to you're creating the public hearing. So a few days later, I get a message, and she goes, well, I spoke to an attorney. God damn, this motherfucker is speeding. I'm doing 85. Are you fucking kidding me? Speeding and shit. Man, I hate truckers that speed. That looks like an old, unsafe ass truck anyway. 1990 Kenworth. Damn, he's speeding. He's in the fast lane. I'm in the slow lane doing 81, and he's fucking passing me doing 85 in a full-fledged tractor trailer. Jesus Christ. But anyways, she messaged back and said, well, I gave that to an attorney, and I just wanted to let you know. And I said, I laughed like LOL. I was like, I'm already gonna know the answer to this question. And she said, she's like, ha ha. And then she said, she goes, he said he don't do that type of law. I said, what? She said he doesn't do that type of law. I said, what do you mean? She said she emailed it to him, and his response was, I don't do that type of law. And I was like, of course not. Why? And she was like, well, I don't get it. I don't understand it. So I said, because it's the public. The attorney works for the administrators, okay? They can't side with the public on something like this. So they're not gonna, because they don't do constitutional law against an administration. It's not, they can't even do it. It's like you cannot give what I just said, an attorney to come to a hearing and submit that shit. They will get all kind of scrutiny from their fellows and foes. Like you don't do that. It's just that's like discrediting the bar. Like that's like a no. They're never going to do that. Now, has it been done before? Absolutely. They were doing it during 2020, but it was constitutional attorneys doing it. Okay, because they was tired of the bullshit. So they stepped up and they did some of this stuff. Okay. Now, so yeah, the attorney said, I don't do this type of law because it's constitutional law. Of course not. And these are administrative bodies. Plus, there's already an attorney there that's for who? If this is the city governments or town governments or whatever the fuck governments that are for the people, elected by the people, then the attorney is for the people. Okay? That's why the attorney ain't going to do that, because there's already an attorney there. Okay? That's what they don't tell you guys. So, I mean, just think about the power in understanding that. All this 2-minute, it's unfair. That's totally unfair. This evens it out, It evens it out. It totally evens out. I tried to explain this to so many fucking people, even people that are running for positions. People are just beyond ignorant, okay? They don't, this shit legit says public hearing. I mean, what do you think? You're going there just to listen? Or are you going to get ears checked? No, there's a fucking podium there. Those motherfuckers all in the city of Rochester, that motherfuckers all got a gavel. They all got a gavel up there. What the fuck they doing with a gavel? Yeah, they in session. Okay? That's why they create all their little administrative rules, which you got to follow, or you can be arrested. Okay? But guess what? When you remove all that, let them fucking arrest you and watch what happens. They ain't gonna touch you. They might tell the police, can you guys go wait outside the front of the building? Because now you're dealing in the confines of the law. You're straight violating people's rights now because you remove the administrative body, guys. You remove it with this shit. That's it. They can't act as admitted. They got to act under the confines of the law. We the people. The only reason why they got to do what they got to do because it went unchecked and unchallenged. So it became legal, which is sufficient enough under the law if it's consented to. If the consent is not there anymore and the law is pulled forward, which is called ratified. I mean, not ratified. It's not self-executing. So when you execute the law, they got to bow down. They got to justify their means. Okay? They can't say, oh, it's because we're trying to keep people safe. No, not 2 minutes. No. It's not keeping people safe. Threatening people to, going over their time limit, they could be arrested and all this other shit. No, don't work like that. Okay? It just doesn't work like that. It's not how the law works. We're still free for now. So, and then the other thing with the parents being barred from the district, I mean, that's easy. That's just a simple, cease and desist and reframe the fuck you just said, okay? Because I'm sending this to the education department and 3 other departments above that, and they're going to come tell you and find you and say, wait, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do this at all, okay? And you'll get an apology letter, you get a fucking red carpet, whatever you want, they're gonna do it. I couldn't believe these letters. Like, I could not believe it. They're barring people with no fucking order. Like, who gave them authority? They didn't go to court. There was no due process. There was no evidence. Nothing. Just said you were barred, and then they're putting their name on it. So that opens them up for acting outside the confines of their authority, which opens them up to a personal lawsuit upon the person. Because trust me, the education department and the government will separate themselves and go, look, you did that. You got to handle that. We're not about to pay for this lawsuit. That's on your ass. That's what they do. She will resign, and that lawsuit will be on her. That's how it works, guys. And again, let me go ahead and put my disclaimer up here real quick. Let me do that first. Let me do that shit. Hold on. Take a swig of my Just Juice. Hold on, guys. I gotta put my disclaimer up. All right, guys, that was my little disclaimer. Again, this is just for educational purposes only. Don't take, it is what it is. You can research everything that I've said and, do whatever you got to do. But, I get tired. I know a lot of auditors. I watch shit. I've seen so much stuff. I've been to board meetings. It's disgusting how they just disrespect everybody. But after I figured this shit out, I'm like, wait a minute. This is fucking court. This is literally court. It just dawned on me one day, like, wait a minute, this is ran just like a fucking court. I'm like, these motherfuckers after every session are saying legalese shit. And then yay, and on favor of this, such and such, or they'll do a code like, are we moving on B-1229? Yes. All in favor? They fucking us over, man. This shit is disgusting. That's the shit that I don't like, man. The bullshit like that. Right in front of our faces. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. appreciate all you guys, as always. Let me know if y'all can still hear me. It's good ESP. Y'all can still hear me? I think that was a... Yes, okay, thanks, man. Good to see you, my brother, man. I missed you, man. I told you I've been saying, you know, where's Mad Pyman on a couple of my streams. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but you know, I always wonder where people be at, you know, when I don't see them in a while. You know. But yeah, so. But yeah, man, I mean, this is what I've been doing. I've been helping people out, you know. I see a lot of stuff like, look, I'm not into that, but I'll show you what y'all should be doing. You know, I'm already, look, kids in school? No. I mean, I do got kids in school, but it ain't on my, you know, I can't control that at this point. You know, that's where I learned all this shit from. They had me in family court too long. You know, y'all had me in family court. I done learned the law. Shit. I done learned a lot of aspects of law. So now, you know, they don't like seeing me in the motherfuckers. You know? And when my whole case is done, show y'all again. Like, look, this is what it is, you know? It's the law. They respect you, you know? And the first people that do this shit that I'm talking, it's going to be a milestone. You know, it's going to be something that is big, you know? This fucking asshole trucker, man. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. Look at this motherfucker, man. Look at this shit. Veering over and shit. Turn my bright lights on. Now he slowed down. This fucking asshole. That shit is so dangerous. I done seen so many crashes on the fucking highway. Tractor trailers. I'm talking disintegrated. I had a tractor trailer. Them bitches fiberglass. Crashing it, and you crash won't. They're safe without the trailer. With the trailer on it, that shit is dangerous. But without the trailer, yeah, it's safer. Them shits, man, you might as well be in a goddamn smart car if you crash in that. So damn dangerous, man. Fucking doing 81 and he passed me in the fast lane. Doing 85, 86 miles an hour in a fucking tractor trailer. Crazy. Anyways, but yeah, it's game changer. Shout out to Fake Mike Real News. We talked about it. You know, he's gonna go into some of his board meetings. I mean, he's gonna look for some of his town hall meetings or whatever. I mean, whatever meetings, public hearings or whatever. You know, next time you see one, just watch it. Pay close attention to it. You know, watch how it perform just like a courtroom, and then watch to the end. Is there any objections? Is there anyone there to refute anything? Has anybody filed anything? No, never. You know, that's why you get your punk ass 2 to 3 minutes. You shut that shit down. You know, and not gonna be just for one hearing. No, that needs to be changed for all hearings. And it's easy. Look, I'm gonna pull the codes. Whatever code you got that under, we're going to pull that code and we're going to That code needs to be repealed, meaning draw a line through the motherfucker because it no longer applies. Okay, we're here now. No, we're not going. Nothing justifies 2 minutes. You gotta rush your thoughts out and shit. And no fucking way. Nothing justifies that stupid shit. Think of how ignorant that shit is. How you got rights and you're limited to 2 to 3 minutes with no justification for nothing. What's the justification? They know we don't understand the law. They know we don't understand their administrative process. Remove that administrative fucking layer they got and put them in the law. Because if they violate it, then now you're talking about cha-ching, the people cashing checks. Okay? Now you're talking about suing them directly because they're acting outside the scope of their authority. Okay? You're going to remove the administrative authority and put them in the lawful legal authority. Remember what they swore on? You got to bring it to them. Otherwise, they ignore it. They swore on it. If you ain't got it, it don't work. How fucking, that's like not even you don't even need a thought to understand that shit. They swore on the Constitution. Okay, they swore an oath. Their bonds have oaths sworn to the Constitution. Okay? But if you ain't got the Constitution, they can do whatever the fuck they want to you. And that's what they do. I don't know how much more clear I can explain it, but that's what they're doing. That's why when you call them out on it, they're like, that motherfucker don't even know, huh? Yeah. You don't even know. They up there rubbing each other's legs under the fucking desks. You know? They don't even know. We're fucking them all over there. They're stupid. Look at this guy. He thinks he's fucking smart, quoting all this case law and all this shit written down. He got 2 fucking minutes. He can't even figure that out. We'll let him run for 5 minutes. Let him feel smart. Yeah, I gotta go take a piss anyway. Let him run for 8 minutes. I gotta take a shit. Let him talk for another 15, 20 minutes then. Come on, man. Shut that shit down. Make them act right. That's how you hold people accountable. Not screaming in the fucking corner, protesting and doing stupid ass 5-year-old temper tantrum shit. That shit's for the birds. You know? And that's why we was all locked in the CIA mind control program, because they ain't want us to be out there thinking like this. They want us far away from the people that they can program and control. You know? I mean, it's the last of the Mohicans. You know? And again, this is an even playing field for both sides. Again, you got to know what you're standing on in order to even be in this position. You know? And I honestly think that, you know, it's better if it went that way, because honestly, then you would look. Now this is just me saying this. Now I would be all for them enforcing, bitch. If you ain't got an affidavit form, then you ain't talking. Fuck that. Cut the time limit totally off. You take your time to do your part. Right? Take your time to do your fucking part to this government, right? And this service to preserve these constitutions and our rights, freedoms, and liberties. Do your fucking part. Okay? Don't come in thinking you're going to get you all the time you want, you know, and you ain't sliding you didn't submit your shit the lawful way like you're supposed to. I'm all for that. No, bitch, you can't talk. I'll be like, I'll be in one of these fucking things. Be like, yeah, you got to do it the right way. File an affidavit the right way, and you get to speak in this motherfucker. Do your work. We're holding them accountable. You got to be accountable. Well, I don't have to do that because I got rights and I'm a. No. Nope, sorry. That's just me. You know, that's just me. That's fair and just. You know, that stops bullshit. How other people put in hard work and do all that, but then you want to come along because you don't know how to do it, or you too lazy to fucking do it, or you're watching a basketball game or a football game or drinking and you ain't gonna take the time to go fucking learn how to do the shit. No, you don't get to say shit. That will create better decisions for everybody. Responsible people. And people that actually fucking give a shit and care. And that's the thing. You want to hold them accountable? You got to be accountable. Simple. There's 3 fucking forms of government here. Just like I told some stupid fuck on Yusuf L's fucking trash ass page, right? I used to go over there and check it out. Now I just slay everybody, cut everybody's fucking heads off that's over there. And a couple other people do it too. You know? Just guru garbage. You know? To try to debate. He said, you debate. Bitch can't even find a motherfucker to debate. He ain't trying to debate. He don't want to debate because I'll debunk half the shit that he talks about. It doesn't even make any sense. He knows it don't make sense. I mean, it's just garbage. Sounds good. He's got the voice to do it. To sound smart. This and that. Spit out a bunch of shit. Gobbledygook that goes fucking nowhere. You know? Now is everything you say bullshit? Of course not. It's how it works. That's how they do it. You know? Snake oil salesman. You know? Fuck, I just read you something. I'm handing this shit out for fucking free. A constitutional attorney would charge $50,000 to do some shit that I just handed to a motherfucker. That a lawyer come back and says he don't do that kind of law, which clearly says it's fucking powerful. He don't do that type of law. Right? He knows his actual law because he might have been a young attorney. They learn administrative process. They don't learn the law. They don't fucking learn the law. You know, the other 2 ladies for them fucking stupid ass letters they got barring them from all fucking public school buildings and shit. No, get here. If you learn, you help stop the stupid shit. Why would somebody? Hey man, that's always been me, man. Always been me. Things be unjust, you know. Things be unjust, man. Like, that's unjust shit. You asking questions about kids that might have been sexually assaulted and your ass barring them from the fucking building. Meanwhile, I could not fucking believe that shit. That shit pissed me the fuck off. I went straight into who the fuck wants to deal with this shit. You know? We'll do one better. We'll just uproot their whole entire fucking process and make them act accordingly. Okay? And then we could take it further than that. I mean, come on, man. We're in the age of information. We can do all this shit now before they cut it all off. You know? They got an entire fucking, like, you don't got to go to the library when they got the entire if you want to pay for it, they got the entire shit online. You know? There's no excuse for no fucking ignorance these days. You know, I'm helping another brother out with, you know, and like 4 other people out. You know, I only could take on so much at a time. You know, I don't want to like hold anybody out. I tell them, look, you know, they'll ask me, I'll help them out, give them pointers, but like hands-on type shit, I can only do so much. because I'm not about to stress myself out, you know, because I don't ask for anything, I just want people to stand on business, that's it. Because if you win, we win. Fuck, I worry, that's the win. If you win, somebody else wins. And 100 of y'all motherfuckers win, then they got to change their policies. It's crazy, man. So, and then, okay, speaking of like being fair, like, like I'm in agreement with, these boards and whatever, these hearings and shit. Yeah, they should have, lawful rules, right? Outside the scope of, everything. Look, you submit this, and you do this. If we're doing stuff the legal way, the law under the law, then you got to do stuff under the law. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. It's just is what it is. If somebody, if just say 20 people, they got things they need to say. All right, ain't gonna be no fucking time limit. I don't give a fuck if we have 5 fucking sessions. That's how it's supposed to be. This is how government is supposed to operate. This is your constitution, not just screaming and shouting it. No, it's putting that bitch into action. So if you got 20 motherfuckers that got shit to say, they don't give a fuck how long it takes. They're gonna put it on paper, and then they're gonna come in and they're gonna read it, explain it. Boom, you guys, the attorney's gonna take that. He got his work. Bitch ain't gonna be sitting there just doing fucking nothing, dozing off no more. This motherfucker got 20 affidavits to respond to. This bitch about to be busy. Hire 3 more of the motherfuckers. That's what's gonna happen. They're like, oh, then the taxpayers pay more money. Y'all don't even know where the tax money goes. Shut the fuck up. They don't need your tax money when they fucking print money. What the fuck wrong with y'all? Where do y'all get this shit from? What you want? Freedom and liberties, or are you worried about stupid shit? What? They gotta hire more attorneys. Guess what they gotta do if they want to justify getting more money? They gotta have a public hearing. Yeah. No, that motherfucker attorney gonna quit whatever the fuck else he's doing to make time to do that shit. Because guess what? We're gonna ask. This is the shit that they do, guys. Well, we gotta hire 3 more attorneys. Well, we need a budget for that. How much does it cost? Well, their rates, this is gonna cost $200,000 a year. Can the town afford it? I don't know. We're gonna have to raise tax. No, public hearing. Now you gotta come in and say, bitch, all right, let's see if this attorney cannot handle all 20 affidavits or whatever fuck this case shit you talking about. Let's see. Oh, we want to see all the records. You justify it. That's how it works, man. It's checks and balances. Okay? This is how it works. This is how the fucking government works, man. The real government, not the shit that we've been fed all this time. Crying, yeah, the government doing this. The government, I never listened to that shit. The government doing it. While motherfuckers was locked in COVID, I wasn't saying the government got us locked down. I'm like, no, hell, we might be on our own. Load up, years worth of food. Fuck that. We ain't locked down. Me knowing the law kept me running around all over it, enjoying the beautiful parks where no one was at, no fucking traffic, nada, zilch. Not even fucking with nobody because they ain't want to catch the fucking invisible fucking boogeyman that we wasn't worried about. We're like, shit, we in a motherfucking rig. We quarantined inside the rig. What the fuck y'all talking about? No, you can't come in here. What of us, we got the sniffles, No, bitch. Man, that was the best time of my motherfucking life. Y'all remember we were locked down and, the COVID, they did their COVID was so, it was wrong, y'all, bitch. Man, I done did a lot, man. Please. Filming hospitals and all kind of shit going all over the fucking place. I mean, come on, man. demonstrating. I mean, I've did so much shit I don't fucking forgot. But anyways, I mean, seriously. But this is how it's done, you know. So, something we should have been learning. Life would have been a lot easier for a lot of people. And, you know, maybe, you know, 10 million people understanding these things could have created a hell of a lot of change, you know. A hell of a lot of change. Because, you know, law is respected. You know, I respect it. You know, it is what it is. I respect the law. What are you talking about? You respect the law. You're doing 80 and a 55. Bitch, that ain't the law. Who the fuck said that's a law? Y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Oh, immigrants, you know, they're breaking the law. No, the fuck they're not. It's a civil offense. What the fuck are you talking about? It's not even arrestable. What the fuck are you even talking about? Oh, they don't have no rights here. Yes, the fuck they do. All people. Okay? Doesn't say U.S. citizens, motherfucker. What's wrong with you? I mean, this shit doesn't even make any sense. They know they want you to get rid of that part so they can amend that part, and then that shit ends up your ass being removed. All right? Just like somebody told me today. We going back and forth, some fucking Yusufel reject, right? Thinks he's fucking super intelligent. He might be fucking watching and listening. I hope he is. You know, but in the day, it's just big brotherly love. Like, I'm trying to wake the motherfucker up out of his sleep, but he don't hear it. What's his last fucking comment? Because he can't stop like a little bitch. And again, respectfully, he just can't stop fucking commenting. So he's probably tuned in. He won't say shit because I'll eat him up. I've been eating his whole fucking reality up on here. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. But what the hell's his name? Lee Richmond or some stupid shit. Fucking talking shit. First he start off, you're fucking, what do you say? This is the type of shit that I be dealing with. Because Yusufel dumbass makes this idiotic post. So, you know, I had to go in. Because it's just total ignorance. The guy, I mean, I don't even think he's in charge of this. I think he sold the damn page or some shit. Because it doesn't even make sense. How this guy is talking like this now is like 360. As soon as the Orange Muppet got, elected or whatever, selected. He said, if they put tariffs on us, then we put tariffs on them. What idiot has a problem with that? And this is what I said to the stupid motherfucker. I said, this is a dumbass statement. You seriously make no damn sense and obviously don't have a clue on business and how the United States operates. If China stopped dealing with the United States tomorrow and stopped everything they manufacture, the United States would be finished. And that is 100% true. I said, you watch too much damn TV and posting too much bullshit on the internet. I said, y'all just think they make toys, electronics, and purses and shoes and shit. I said, they make a lot more things than that. They make chemicals, textiles, grain, a variety of industrial materials, and components that many American industries rely on. I said, also chemical compounds, okay, for your pharmaceutical drugs that half y'all motherfuckers take. And the majority of the shit in the United States that says made in the USA still comes from China. Y'all just don't understand how much shit actually is made in China. And you keep posting this dumbass shit, not making any kind of sense. Now I need to refrain from saying all these bad words, guys. I gotta go wash my mouth out with soap after today. I said I said, and then calling people idiots. I said, it would take 20 years for the United States to get back on its feet if China totally cut the United States right out. I said, China is one of the largest producers of industrial chemicals in the world, and many of these are essential for American manufacturing and cannot be easily replaced. That's what motherfuckers don't know. You don't even have a clue, man. And you just post some stupid ass shit. I mean, this shit is, I don't understand how somebody can be claiming they know all this shit and then just say some stupid shit like that. All right? I said, they use rare earth minerals. Hold on a second. I'm gonna be swerving and shit. But anyways, that's a long ass text. I mean, it's a long ass response. But oh shit. Oh, I thought it was something crossing the street. It's a damn moonshine. So, people don't understand how much stuff is actually, this is another thing, people don't understand how much stuff is actually made in China. Like, the same idiot who's probably watching, right? Oh yeah, he called me. That's what I want to say. What's the first thing he said to me from my whole comment? I dropped a lot of jewels in that comment. But anyways, his first thing he said was, this is what I was telling you about. First shit comes out of his mouth. He deleted it. He deleted that one comment. He deleted some of the comments. He didn't want to see me tearing his ass up in there. So I see he deleted a lot of the comments. Yeah, he deleted them, sorry. But he said something like a homo. He goes, "You homo." First thing he said, I go check the motherfucking profile picture. He's doing a selfie in a fucking bathroom. And I'm a homo. I mean, the guy's doing a selfie in the fucking bathroom. That's his picture profile. Like, okay, whatever, man. But anyways, I'm just swinging the sword a little bit today. Let me take a sip of my sunshine juice. Shout out to all you guys still rocking out with me. But the China thing. People don't understand the magnitude of things that are made in China. There's nothing made in, it looks like stuff is made in America, guys, but when I tell you there's nothing made in America, it ain't shit made in America. Only a handful of things, and those things came from China. The materials, you don't understand how much material, steel, aluminum, alloy comes from China. So you might buy something, but it's still components and parts came from China. Plastics, they make the damn materials to make plastic. Like, they have the chemicals that make plastic, like the polypropylene. You should be thanking these motherfuckers, because China is polluted. The air is toxic in many places, okay? Because of the fucking factories. So y'all just ain't even thinking. Bring it all back to America. Okay. What if these motherfuckers start bringing over the damn, all right, you guys want it? China gets slick, like, all right, fucking shut these pollutant factories down. Let them build them over there. Shit, we can let them build them over there. Clean our skies up. We'll find some other shit to sell. We are masters at selling shit to consumers, which the world's largest consumers is America. So we'll find something to replace that shit. People don't understand that, man. Like they doing us a favor. Like our skies aren't as toxic because these dangerous ass fucking chemical factories ain't here. All right, which is fucked up still. But I'm just saying, like, you should be thinking of you sure you want all the jobs to come back here? Okay. And then the other thing is people don't understand how the system works. Like I said earlier, but I think I changed the subject. There's three forms of a system. There's three forms of the United States. You have the country, the nation, and the corporation. Okay? How it's supposed to work is you live in the nation, okay? No, wait, my bad. The nation is where you're, all right, you're in the nation, okay? You operate in the country, all right? No, wait, what the fuck? What am I trying to, what is it? What am I doing? You got the nation, the country, and the corporation, which is the United States. So the nation is a landmass, okay, where we reside, right? The country is what you live in, and the corporation is what you operate in. That's how it's structured, okay? The nation, which they keep us away from that, all right? But that's how you're supposed to be living. You're supposed to be living in a nation, okay, residing in the country, which means free roam. You're free. You got freedom. You know, there's the republic, the people, we the people, and then there's a corporation to where you contract with, all right? That's how the shit works. It's that simple to explain it. Simple. The country is just the country. What is the country? Oh, he lives way out in the country. Well, the country is just the mass, the land, right? The nation is the United States, all right? That's what the nation is. As far as the mass, what's truly America. So that's the real United States of America. But the other one, United States, is the corporation we all know because it's what? Everything's structured under the executive branch of government and everything is an administration. So we already know that by default, if you understand the law, is not the government. It's a representative form of government. The country is the people. The nation is the land. All right? So, it is what it is. But, yeah, so China, all right, people don't understand how extensive China is. If they shut down tomorrow, as soon as we run out of supplies, it's a wrap. Like they make a lot of stuff. People ignore it. You know, everybody wants to, America. You don't understand. It's been gone. It can't come back. It ain't never coming back. They're like, they're bringing it back. Where? When? When they going to start? 5 months now, okay? You think they're going to start bringing it all back within a year from now? No, then we're almost a year and a half in. It's not going to happen. It can't happen, and it won't happen because these corporations became billionaires and became bigger because of China. That's what people don't understand. They're only bigger because China exists. Why? Cheap labor. Why? You can't think. Guys, this is how this works, okay? It doesn't take a rocket science to figure out. You less wage, American money goes farther in China, okay? Your dollar's worth more in China, and you're paying less for labor in China, less for product in China, less for materials in China, okay? How the fuck you gonna become big and powerful over here if you making the shit over here? It don't fucking work. You're not about to bring fucking all this shit over here. Nope, sorry. It's not gonna happen. You're not gonna pay a lazy ass fucking American $35 an hour or 25 hours an hour to make a fucking plastic bottle. That ain't happening here. Sorry. You pay all the medical and all that shit, nope. Because your $1 billion company will turn into a $1 million company and you go belly up real fucking quick. All right? It ain't happening. Because once you remove, this is another thing, motherfucker, what are you gonna do? That's why, I mean, I think that in the future could be some kind of war with China, okay? But then again, on the other side, no, because they have a whole new system that they're implementing that everybody's a part of, okay? Everybody's not in agreement, but everybody's a part of. We were sold the New World Order. That's not happening the way we thought it was in the fake and truth and community, you know? So, you know, it just is what it is. You know, China is the #1 business partner of the United States, and everything comes from fucking China. You can't not, you know, you can't, I don't know why people think, oh, China, cheap, cheap, cheap. Motherfuckers, they make all your, I don't give a fuck what it is. They got boxes that they put from somewhere else on it. They like coat packers, man. I mean, it's not, I mean, my son had to order shit for an Audi, doing a whole engine. He found the man, guy makes every China. Luckily, he was lucky. He found the guy who manufactures every fucking part for that's aluminum for Audi Volkswagen. The guy who supplies Audi Volkswagen. That means the guy who supplies Audi Volkswagen parts, okay, turbos, you know, manifolds, engine parts, all kinds of shit. Okay, in China is the guy who makes, okay, the factory who makes everything for Volkswagen and Audi, okay, which entails Bentley, Rolls-Royce parts, okay, Porsche, what other one? I forgot what the other brand was, okay? And when all the shit that my son ordered, you know, they actually got like kind of like a friendly relationship, send the shit. It all came in the boxes. I did a video on it. I think it's on my channel. I showed y'all. The shit says from Italy. It's got all the Audi shit on it. This is where they make it at. They're not making that shit in Italy and Tanzania and all these other fucking places. No, it is from China. These are OEM parts. OEM parts from China. And then these same parts go to the dealerships and they charge you a whopping, fuck. It was one part that my son called the dealership for. They wanted like, oh my God, I think it was like $300 for a small fucking little aluminum piece that he got for $15 from the supplier. Same guy, you know, same ass guy. So, you know, amongst many other things, you know, it's what it do, man. This is business. I worked for a co-packer. I used to look at the shit like, damn, why you don't say we made it? I'm cooking for the entire United States and Canada and shit. And the shit says made by Italians from Italy. Like, what the fuck? We making it right in Rochester, New York. What the fuck? That's how business works, you know? So not only that, you have you know, they just make everything, guys. It's unbelievable. And like I said, they make chemicals that pharmaceutical companies put in drugs, unfortunately. You know? And then this same idiotic scuzz bucket, right? gonna tell me, oh, they traffic. They're bringing drugs over here. The drug problem. Drinking the Kool-Aid. China's flooding the United States with fentanyl. Like, that is the biggest farce on the fucking planet. Okay, one, drugs are banned in China. Okay, harsh motherfuckers get executed for having drugs in China. There is not a drug problem in China. Okay, they're not going to be manufacturing drugs in fucking China. That don't happen. Okay, they're not doing that. All right. What the problem is, and I've said this a multitude amount of times, okay, they sell the chemicals of fentanyl, okay? That's what they sell, the chemicals. And what happens is other people buy the shit, like Pfizer, who's got the patent to Fetty, right? The actual pill. And, other people that don't have, the right intentions buy the shit, make drugs, whatever. We know one of them is, probably the same people blaming, whatever, but that's besides the point. So China does not sell, that is factually incorrect, does not sell no fucking fentanyl and flood it over here. Don't happen. Okay, the reason why they're so strict on drug trade is because they already know what the Europeans did to their country. So there's not tolerate. You get dead. They kill you. Okay, there's been executions over drug trafficking. They send a stark message, and the same person that says China, they're bringing they're flooding the streets with drugs, is the same motherfucker that said, oh, I love President Xi's drug policies. They execute people over there. Yeah, the same orange man said they're flooding us with drugs. No, anybody can go look up. They just sell the chemicals. And what does China approach? Okay, as the world's #1 supplier of everything. Okay, their approach is, all right, and they've already raised concerns themselves of being blamed for some shit. They go through the UN, from the World Trade Organization through the United Nations. They've already publicly came out and stated that these are incorrect statements being used to propagate that China is flooding the United States with fentanyl. They come out and said, what we do is we make products and sell materials, and we fill demand. We're a supplier of goods and services, okay? Of goods, whatever, materials. There's a supplier, and they said, whatever you do in your jurisdiction, that's on you. That ain't on us. Within our jurisdiction, it's legal because it's chemicals. But when they leave here, we got nothing to do with whatever y'all trying to do. Because we don't sell drugs. We don't manufacture drugs. Drug is not tolerated, right? Even a person under the influence of drugs gets in trouble. So that don't happen there. And their motto is, when it leaves us, that goes into your jurisdiction. Maritime, you understand maritime shit on the water. You think China got jurisdiction on the water? No. Once it leaves, that's it. Once it leaves, that's it. They ain't got no control over it. They're a supplier. You can't blame somebody, blaming somebody for some shit somebody else doing. That doesn't even make sense. But people believe everything they hear on the news. Take a break real quick. Shout out to all you guys. Let me know if y'all can still hear me loud and clear. if y'all can still hear me. All right, thanks, man, Pine. Shout out to you. Yeah, they gotta stop drinking the Kool-Aid, man. It's bad, man. They gotta stop drinking that Kool-Aid. They getting a bad batch of Kool-Aid, man. They drinking the orange Kool-Aid. They drinking that orange, you know? You know, that's crazy, man. Like this, you know, I've just been debating with people today on the stupidness. Same person came with all these angles, and I just chopped his head off every chance he got. You know, 30 banks closed in, what was that post? 30 banks closed in China. Yeah, the tariffs are working. No, you dumb motherfucker. They're moving away from the dollar. They're getting ready. I mean, come on, man. You got a whole economy backed by gold, man. They're not backed by they don't print money out of thin air. It don't even work like that. Like, what? People don't even know the way China is ran and how it works and operates through its banking systems and all that. Just say, oh, they've closed banks, so it's working. No, you dumb motherfucker. It's working to go towards their new order. I mean, why would they need all them banks if they go into a digital yuan and, you know, they're moving away from a dollar, you know? Think about it. They're getting ready. They're prepping, which is kind of like what they did before World War II. You know, we already know. I mean, unfortunately, you know, that's where it's going. You know, and it ain't the governments, you know, because, you know, let's face it. I mean, Trump is a business partner with, you know, China for this new commerce system that they're gonna implement, you know. But they gotta make a war, make it look good, you know. Oh, you know, World War changed the scope of everything we know and exists, and that was the plan all along. So, you know, the Third World War is gonna eliminate a lot of people, unfortunately. You know, now this shit get real. Motherfuckers like, oh, you're fear porn. Fear porn. What's good, Blink? Good to see you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Fear porn. I mean, this is what it is. They gonna. I mean, it is what it is. You know. I gotta get gas. I got 75 more miles. Nothing like a diesel, a turbo diesel. It's 700. I get 720 miles. 720 miles on a full tank of gas. Unbelievable. Diesel. Petrol. 720 miles on a petrol. Way outperforms a fucking EV vehicle by a long shot. So I do 1,400 miles. It's costing me $70. That's it. One fill up. One fill up. If I'm going to New York to Florida, Florida to New York, one time, that's all it takes. And I still have gas, whenever I get to whichever destination. I still have fuel. I get 32 miles a gallon, 33 miles a gallon. And coming one way was like 30, I'd say 33. And the other way is 36 miles a gallon. I never cared about gas, but, you know, long distances, I love diesel. Nothing beats a freaking diesel. turbo. Run 12s. Oh, that's nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. $600 km. 600 km is different from miles. So 720, 700, because what, 100 is, I don't freaking know. 100 is like 150 or something. I don't know. I forgot. I don't know how much it is. I think it's like, I don't know. I ain't got my phone to do the math for my dumb ass. Yeah, y'all leaders in kilometers. It's so funny, like when you see like leaders. I wonder why they did that shit. I wonder why. Appreciate y'all rocking now. But what else is new? What else is new? Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Did y'all hear about? And that's goddamn, how'd I forget about that? That's the reason that sparked the goddamn title in the video. Society is sick. I forgot to talk about that. Y'all heard about this motherfucker who, it's a sad situation, but I don't even know. I mean, is this even legit? Because it's just, I don't know. I didn't really look into it. I just been seeing the stupid ass posts showing up and people promoting this shit. Okay. Allegedly, I'm gonna say allegedly because hey, they create this. From what I'm seeing, this is some kind of psychological shit. This motherfucker, black dude, right? Or I guess his son. I don't know what his name is, right? Milton or some shit. But his son got shot and killed by police. I might be missing some details or whatever. But anyway, the next day or whatever, a funeral, I don't know, whatever. The father drives a car and kills another cop, which, I mean, it's almost an unbelievable story, so it might be unbelievable, but hey, anyways, it's out there. Who knows? MK Ultra. We already know the whole spiel. I don't know. But there's people that have black folks, mostly dumbass, ignorant ass black folks. I mean, it is what it is. Are mostly clapping and cheering and raising money for bonds and bails and commissary and raise them as a hero. What the fuck kind of sick and twisted ass shit is this? That's some sick shit. And then I seen I don't know if it was a real AI. It could have been AI. It was just a small quick clip that passed by the feed on YouTube, and it was he was in court smiling and I'm this is some sick ass shit. This motherfucker, two wrongs don't make it right. I'm sorry. I mean, you know how I feel about cops anyway, but I ain't with no killing cops and hurting cops or no stupid shit like that. But I hold the cops accountable to the bullshit they do as far as corruption and all that other shit. But wait, these people are cheering that because this guy's son got killed, that justifies him running over and killing an officer, and they're clapping and fucking. That's almost animalistic, barbaric. That shit is. I don't even understand, man. I don't even fucking. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, ESP. Exactly what it is. You know, but fuck the situation. The people that are out there, like legit, I reading the comment, I haven't left the comment, like, y'all some stupid motherfucker. I hope this dude never sees the light of day again. That's a dangerous motherfucker. Like, and then I said, okay, picture this. Black cop shoots and kills white kid. Okay? White kid's dad next day runs over, black cop kills him. Oh, look out, Susie. Go board up your goddamn businesses, because it's about to be riot after riot after riot. See? Motherfuckers won't be screaming, well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, shit, you know, the police, yeah, he killed the white boy, so, you know, the father, you know, yeah, man, I rock out. No. Sorry. We live in a sick society. Like, people are literally GoFundMes and like, we need to get money in this commissary. Look, he made it. Yeah. People cheering and clapping and emojis. Like, oh my God. I was like, what? I didn't really pay attention to it. I seen, you know, one clip, he came in the courtroom, he was like smiling, smirking, and like it was a big ass, a lot of people in the courtroom, but they said, oh, he denied bail, and they're like, oh, that's not right, how he get denied bail, oh, I'm like, what the fuck, he intentionally killed a damn police officer, allegedly, probably, you know, how far can we believe the fucking unbelievable story? But just the people, man, like, you know, this is a sick mentality, man. It's bad, man. It's bad. And I'm wondering where the hell it's going. Where they going with this shit? You know, where they going with that? You mean to tell me they gonna be out there protesting that stupid shit? That's a different kind of stupid right there. Yeah, that blew me. I could not believe that. I was like, oh, hell no. Like, that's, like, how two wrongs make a right, you know? That's and the kid, it ain't like the cop just executed the kid was, I guess, stolen car, running from the cops, you know, same shit that always happens, you know? I mean, and I like he was on his way home from graduation, and you know, it was just some, you know, no, it was the cop, the son, obviously the actions. I mean, look, honestly, it's a fucking smack in the face to black folk, because wait a minute, the son was a piece of shit, you could say, and now the father is just an equal piece of shit, two pieces of shit, right? Unfortunate situation that the son, you know, whatever, got killed, but look what he was doing, stealing fucking cars. You know, I don't know the details, I didn't watch it, but hey, it is what it is. You know, stealing cars, whatever the fuck, and running from police, and got shot and killed. This was bad enough, but now you run over an officer, kill him, and you go to jail. Now you got a whole bunch of people clapping and yaying. But yet, what about the motherfuckers who are family and friends? Now they got 2 people gone. Y'all motherfuckers ain't thinking about those people. You know, y'all clapping and cheering. Oh yeah, he got it. Yeah, that's good. That's what he get. What do you mean? Now, what about their family? What did maybe he had his mother's alive, and that's her son and his grandbaby. She done lost both of them. when it could have just been one. Now you got two. You know, what about if you got a wife or the baby's mom? You know, the kid's mother. Were they together? Like, now she all alone by herself. See, this is just sick, fucking twisted ass society, man. I see shit differently. Fuck that. I put myself in like another other people's. You know, like I look at it from another perspective. You know, ain't no justification for that. It's all wrong. You don't kill. What about the cops' family? You know, that's innocent too. Now what? Now what if all the cops just drive through the hood just with their M-Raps and big ass SWAT trucks just run niggas over all the time for a week straight? You know, mini civil war and shit. Think about it. Well, you killed one of ours. Oh, you know, we're gonna kill one of you. I mean, come on, what the fuck is going on here? You know? I mean, we are like a click away from like an all-out fucking war against each other. It's sickening, man. Like how I don't get it, man. I really don't. I don't get the mentality. It's sick and twisted. It's crazy. It's truly crazy. One second, guys. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. All right. So shout out to all you guys. I think I'm about to get ready to get up off here. Gotta get some gas. I'm a little lucky. Look. Gotta use that. So I'm about to get up off here, man. You know, I hope everybody's doing good. Shout out to Richard Quinn. I actually talked to him the other day. He's doing all right. You know, we don't agree on shit, but still show, you know, much love. You know, just like the fool from today. If you're watching, you know, hey, it's all in love, man. I'm just trying to wake you up, cast you out that spell. You know, you drinking, you know, you drinking all the Kool-Aid. Yeah, and everybody else. So, but much love to you guys, and I am out.
So, when you hear me speak and the things I say, I'm speaking to my people.
If you ask me, I'll tell you what is wrong with the world. We're being desensitized from the things we should feel. Living our lives in these times while we suffer inside, and we can't see the problems cause the masses are blind. Let's try and find a solution. We're not helping ourselves. We're walking around unattached and disconnected from self. Too comfortable and too scared. That's why we never rebel. That's why we catch me writing rhymes and trying to balance the scales. Put car on the roads. It seems like dawn of the dead. Zombies, robots, lemons being misled. It's like we're sheep to the slaughterhouse on the conveyor belt, about to self-destruct cause we're under a spell. We search for purpose but nothing ever surfaces. We need to be accountable cause we're deserving this. Alarm bells are ringing but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking. We're blinded by the rubbish and glamorized materials. Imperialism has got us fearing rules. I'm tired of these rappers rapping about their cars and jewels. If you take a step back, they would define buffoons. The saddest thing is that they're in the minds of all the children. They keep our money motivated and that's how they kill them. But do we care? No. Young money's here. That's why our aim is 2 inches above your earlobe, so we can all start pulling in the same direction. Cause it seems to me like we've lost that connection. Man, you've sold your soul, so you show no affection. Get to know yourself and love your reflection. It's like your brain's a phone and you got no reception. Arm your mind with knowledge, use it as a weapon. Alarm bells are ringing, but it's like you refuse to wake up. Subconsciously you're hitting on the snooze. It's just another day in this world while we're living under the spell. When you travel through realms, just make sure you prevail. Elevate for yourself. You need to stop sleepwalking.
There has to be some accountability. You have to have some self-account. You have to think for yourself. What am I going to do that's right for me, man? When am I going to take ownership for what I do to me and my people?